how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're talking about the charm and simplicity of small town living. Picture this: quiet streets, friendly neighbors, and a slower pace of life. It truly does a body good and mind on many different levels. Today we're diving into what makes small town living so special. I'll walk you through why so many people are embracing this lifestyle. Let's start out with the warmth of community. There is something magical about walking down the street and being greeted by name. You're not just another face in the crowd. You know that they really care about you because you actually know them. You probably know them in different places and see them around town. They care about you, and there's always a friendly neighbor ready to lend a hand, even if you're not out on the town. Your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers, people that you volunteer with are always there to help you in need. There's going to be things like potluck dinners, local parades, or just a chat at the farmer's market because it's somebody you know from around the neighborhood. Community spirit is definitely alive and thriving. Have you experienced this kind of warmth where you live? Now, personally, I grew up in a small town. I lived in Strawberry Point, Iowa, which is about 1,000 people, until I was in high school, and then we moved the next town over, which was about 5,000 people. And I lived there until after I graduated college, and then we moved to Rogers, Arkansas, which is 30,000 people. So to me, that's a big city. Now, if you're living in Chicago or New York or Los Angeles, that's nothing. But compared to where I am now, Cherokee Village is also about 5,000 people. But we live in about 4 different towns that are just kind of all together. And so it's maybe more like 6, maybe even 7,000 people all here in this area. But still, that is very small living compared to many other towns in the area. So just so you know that I haven't really had big city life in my history, so I'm pretty used to small town living, and so I don't necessarily know what city life is. But I do know some reference from having lived in Rogers, what it's like to have all those things right there at your hands if you wanted to go do them. So along with that community, you're really going to find that in small towns there's a slower pace, which results in a happier life. Now, when I moved to Arkansas the second time to Cherokee Village, I came into this real estate business, and I really found how much slower things are here. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are worse here, it just means things are slower. If you want something done quickly, you have to prepare ahead of time because everybody's not on your same schedule. Small town living is all about that slowing down and enjoying life. You get a chance to savor the sunrise, listen to the bird chirping, there's no honking horns, and you can stroll down the street without having to worry about a lot of traffic. Now, in the last couple of years, we have had more traffic built up on our highway, which is good for businesses, but not as necessarily the small town life that you might expect. It's definitely way less than the larger cities that I mentioned, Chicago and Los Angeles, and also plenty less than even Rogers, Arkansas, and northwest side of the state. So it does feel like you're less stressful because people are at a slower pace of life. It can make you stressed out if you're in a hurry because everybody else is slow around you, but that again just means that you need to be prepared, maybe leave a little earlier. But studies show that slower pace of life can really lead to better mental health, and we all deserve a little peace and quiet, right? Here's a big perk. The cost of living in a small town is often much lower than a big city. Now, when I moved from Midwest Iowa to Cherokee Village this last time, I really couldn't tell a whole lot different because we are pretty close together. We're only a couple states apart. We're not going from East Coast to West Coast or even the middle of the country to the coast. So housing prices here and everyday expenses generally are lower here than what you'll find on the coast or in bigger cities. So that means your dollar is going to stretch farther. You're going to be able to get more of what you want for less. Now, your dream home can definitely be here. You can have that big yard, maybe a garden, a garage, a fenced-in yard. It may all be within reach if you're willing to live in a small town area. So if you're someone that's considering a move, I encourage you to check out our area and see what the home prices are. We still maintain pretty reasonable prices on many of our homes. Now, what would you do with all that extra room in your budget if you're willing to move to a small town area? Would you stay with the same kind of home and enjoy a smaller payment? Or would you look for more square footage in a house? Or would there just be a specific feature that you would be adding onto your wish list, like that garage or that fence or maybe even waterfront? Because we do have waterfront homes that you can find affordably in our area. So that is a great perk for small town living. Nature lovers, you'll feel right at home here in small town America. You'll be surrounded by breathtaking landscapes. Now we are in the Ozark foothills in north central Arkansas. So we aren't in the mountains, but we're in the foothills. So we definitely have some hilly areas, and we have some steep lots, and we have some flat lots. It just depends on what you're looking for. But either way, it's a very beautiful area, and a lot of it is untouched. A lot of it is just raw land that can be developed, or you can continue to enjoy it as it is. You can have your own adventure in your very own backyard. It's right at your fingertips, whether it is wading through the trees or wading through the water. And it's going to be the kind of life where you can trade in those traffic jams for sunsets on the lake or morning walks in the woods. And doesn't that all sound amazing? And that's why small towns are often known for great getaways, and why we have a lot of vacation homes here. But on the other hand, you could make it your long-term home if you really wanted to fully enjoy the small town living. Small town, you're not just a customer, you're a friend. When you go into the shops, you know the shop owners, or you can get to know them. You can see the other shoppers there and meet people in the community. It really gives you a chance to shop local, and you're investing in your community, and you can feel the impact directly. You can see those shop owners and the people that are going there, seeing that money go back into the community, because those shop owners have kids in your schools, have kids that are working, that might be your employees. And even if you're going to the local diner or the retail shops or the quirky little boutiques that give the small towns a unique charm and draws in their tourists, you're really helping support your neighbors, and you create that cycle of goodwill. You shop locally, they buy shop locally. They work with you, you work with them. So don't you really like to see how your money is getting used and spent in your community and neighborhood? Small towns have a way of bringing families closer together. There's fewer distractions, more opportunities to connect. Because you're not in the middle of a big city with all kinds of activities to go to, you have to be a little more creative. You can go out and enjoy nature, whether floating on the river, fishing in the lake, going on a hiking trail. It gives you a chance to connect more because you're really alone in nature together, and you can have those meaningful conversations and really make some memories. Also, with that small town living, you generally have a lower crime rate and a strong sense of community, like we said, so you can be assured that your kids are growing up in a safe and nurturing environment. And in fact, Cherokee Village has been named Safe Community of Arkansas several times before. So it is a safe place to live. I encourage you to speak to the police department, though, if you're really considering moving here, so you can actually see of any crime that has happened here, because there can certainly be things that I don't know about. But in general, I haven't had any problems with crime since I've lived here. Now, if there are opportunities to enjoy things in our areas like extracurricular activities, outdoor play for kids, there's all kinds of activities at the high school and middle school with sports, and we also have a great band program, there's gymnastics. So there are things for them to do other than just enjoy nature, and there's things for families to go together. They have all kinds of I have video called Things to Do in Cherokee Village that you can look at, and there's all kinds of activities throughout the year that you can go attend. Now, if you're ready to create a lifelong memories, maybe small town living is calling your name, so you can check out all these ways to create a better family bond. Small town living encourages a simpler lifestyle. You spend less time commuting and more time doing the things you love. Whether it's gardening or reading or spending time with family, a slower pace of life can lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. Now, usually when we think about the slower pace of life, we think about retirement or vacation, but wouldn't it be great if it was a place that you lived? If you can find a way to live in a small town living, I encourage you to try to find a way, because I really think it would decrease your stress if you're able to get away. And I know a lot of people can work from home now, and that's why we have a lot of opportunities for that here as well, where you can find homes and you can have a home office. I just think there's a way for you to make it work if you wanted to. So what do you think? Is small town living right for you? Whether it's a sense of community, that peaceful pace, or the connection to nature, there's so much to love about life away from the hustle and bustle. If you're ready to make a change, or even if you're just curious, I hope this video gave you a little glimpse of what's possible. To get more details about living in our small town, check out this video where I talk about the pros and cons of Cherokee Village. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.